In the name of Allah, today we are going to talk about genetic engineering. In this lecture, we are going to cover definition of genetic engineering. We are going to study some applications of genetic engineering in different areas. And finally, we are going to see the benefits of genetic engineering in today's life. As a definition for genetic engineering, we can say that genetic engineering or genetic modification is the process of altering the DNA in an organism's genome. For example, look at this DNA structure. We know that in DNA structure, we can see base pairs. When adenine pairs thymine and guanine pairs cytosine, this pairing structure is being called as base pair. In genetic engineering, they can delete one base pair, or they can delete the whole region of one DNA, or they can add DNA of other organisms over here, or they can cut the whole region of DNA of one organism and combine it with the DNA of another organism. So these are some techniques that genetic engineers are using for modifying, for changing the genome of living organisms. And genetic engineering can be applied to a variety of organisms, starting from viruses up to sheep. In medicine, researchers, industries, and agriculture, and other sectors, genetic engineering can be applied, and it can be used on various plants, animals, and microorganisms, as we can say. And the first microorganism to be genetically modified is bacteria. In medicine, genetic engineering can be applied to manufacturing of drugs and creating a model of animals that mimic human conditions. And gene therapy, like they can treat the ill genes inside the DNA of a living organism, and they can produce human growth hormones and follicle stimulating hormones using genetic engineering. They can produce human albumin, monoclonal antibodies, anti-hemophilic factors, and even vaccines. In research, genes and other genetic information from a wide range of organisms can be inserted into bacteria for storage and modification, creating genetically modified bacteria in the process. For example, look at this picture. As you can see a bacteria over here. We have studied that inside the bacteria structure, there is a ring of DNA with the name of plasmid. By removing that plasmid, cutting off one part of it, and inserting human insulin gene instead of it, and putting that ring back to the body of the bacteria, we know that bacteria are kind of microorganisms that are able to reproduce rapidly. So after getting a variety range of bacteria producing insulin inside their body, after fermentation and purification, we can extract the insulin and these insulins are now ready to distribute among diabetics. This is the simplest way of producing so much insulin for diabetics. Genetic engineering has applications in industry as well. Like by transforming cells in organism, they can make useful proteins. They can produce insulins. They can produce growth hormones. They can produce vaccines. And even in food industry and making fuels, they can use different techniques of genetic engineering. In agriculture, reproduction of genetically modified crops or plants that are able to fight against viral diseases, or we can say which has resistance against viral diseases and some insects, can be produced using genetic engineering, obviously. And in other areas like conservation, natural area management, and microbial arts, genetic engineering has a variety of applications. About the benefits of genetic engineering, we can say using genetic engineering, we can produce different kind of crops and plants which can grow and which has resistance against some certain insects and diseases. Even we can cure genetic disorders using genetic engineering, and even the diseases like malaria and dengue can be eliminated by sterilizing the mosquitoes using genetic engineering. And even nowadays, telepathic clonings are happening. That was all about genetic engineering. Thanks for watching.